Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the first class of ZBrush. Today we're going to learn the basics of ZBrush and see some of the tools that you'll be using the next couple of classes. So the basics, first of all, this is the viewport. So we have a little viewport, and all over the sides there are menus that we'll use every day. First of all, we're going to go to the top here in the document menu. We're going to click it, and we're going to go to the bottom to double. This doubles the resolution, so we have a little more space to work. We'll go again to the document menu, and this time with the range slider, we'll set it to 0, so we have a more neutral gray background. So this is the basic setup for every ZBrush class. Okay, let's see a couple of the menus. First of all, the left side is where you'll see the brushes, some alphas and ways of implementing those brushes, so strokes, and of course the material shader, or how the object looks. So basically, and the color that's attributed to it. On the right side is the main menu. Basically, here are the tools that you'll mainly use, and most of your time will be spent on the right side, because here is, as I said, most of the stuff you'll use. Now it is empty, but later it will be filled up with the timeline of work. On the upper side is some stuff like the lightbox. Here you can have all your quick saves and all of your meshes and projects that come with ZBrush. Also, there is intensity of the brush, live boolean, and everything else that attributes to the brush. So focal shift, intensity, and other stuff that we'll see later on. Okay, on the bottom is my personal shelf or menu. You'll not have this, but we can set up a custom menu for all of you that want one. Okay, for starters, we're going to have a primitive here. We're going to need to have a primitive or a mesh. So on the right side, we'll go to simple brush or the big S. We're going to click on it, and we'll click for now a little sphere, but you can see that there is so much more, like cylinders, cubes, stars, and so on. Okay, for now, well, we're not gonna go to the bottom but the top, so we'll hit, as I said, the little sphere 3D icon. I'm gonna click on it, and as you see, there nothing happens, but if we go to the viewport and drag on the viewport, the ball appears. Now if we're going to go to the top left and hit edit object, this needs to happens in order to work on it, and also make polymesh 3D. Without it, we'll get this warning. So on the right side, we click make polymesh 3D, and now we can work on the ball, as you see, and we have options on the right side, as I mentioned previously. Okay, first of all, how does the movement work? Well, outside of the mesh, if we move with the pen or the mouse, we'll see that we can move in 3D space. So we can rotate it in all directions, in all 3 directions, top, bottom, side, front, as you can see with the little face on the top right that describes where are you in the world position. Okay, like this, a little more movement. Okay, next up is the movement in two spaces. So basically panning, as we say it. So we have movement in 2 spaces, left, right, up and down. We can do that by holding Alt and just moving with the mouse and pen, as you can see, and we move in 2 directions, so left, right, or up and down. It's locked, and this movement is called panning. So you can switch between those two. All the movements are located on the right side here. Also, the zoom movement is a button, but another way to zoom in or out is hold Alt, scroll up with the pen or mouse, so hold Alt, scroll up with the pen and mouse, and let go of Alt, but not the pen or mouse. So now if we move the pen or mouse, we're going to see that it zooms in and out. It's a bit complicated than most zooming methods in other programs, but you'll get used to it. I suggest you learn this method because zooming in and out with the icon is a bit more time and work that you need to put into it. Okay. So as you can see, we have also sides. We can go to front view, side view, back view, and so on. This we can control by this little avatar on the top right, but also we can rotate and just hit shift on the keyboard and it will snap automatically for us. So rotate, shift, and as you can see, it snaps by the indication of the little head in the top right. So with shift is snapping the view. Okay, we're going to change the basic material in the left side. As we said, we're going to use basic material 2 or basic material. Those two are the most used. You can use other stuff, but I prefer those two because they tell us the most. They give us the best shadows on the mesh. Okay, so first of all, we're going to take a look at the brush menu. The brush menu is activated on B. So if I click B, it will have a little menu for all the brushes you have in ZBrush at the moment of this version in ZBrush. You can also activate this menu on the top left, but I prefer with the B key. So every brush in ZBrush works with a shortcut. It's the shortcut of their letters. In this case, we'll go to Move Brush. It will be B for brush menu, M for M in move, and V for V in move. So with this brush, we can start moving it around or moving little pieces like so. So we're extracting kind of the geometry of the ball. Okay, Control Z is for going back, like in all programs, 3D programs. And let's say you want a bigger move or a bigger part of the ball moved. You can click S and use this slider, or hold S and use this slider to change the size of the brush. So we can now move a little bit more of the ball. Okay, if I try and move downwards, like this from the side, but from the front, it's just moved from the one side. We need it to be moved from the right side as well. So we need to activate symmetry. Symmetry is really important and it's activated on the X key. So X is for symmetry. With X activated, we can now move the sphere on both sides, so on the left and the right side, and we can continue and making the shape that we made previously. And now you can see it's in the middle because the two symmetry points meet in the middle. We can move this up and make a little face, smooth it out, and shape the rest of the head behind. Okay, as you can see, the head is a little bit bumpy, it's not smooth, so we can use a smooth brush to smooth it here. The smooth brush, unlike the other brushes, there is a designated hotkey for it. So the designated hotkey is Shift. If we hold Shift, we'll get a little smooth brush up here, and we can use that to smoothen the geometry and make it a little bit rounder. Like so. Okay, for the next brush, we'll use clay buildup. This shortcut for this brush you'll need to learn by heart. So basically it's the most used brush in the whole of ZBrush, let's say. So it's B for brush menu, C for clay, for C and clay, and B for the second part of buildup. So clay buildup or BCB. Now, if I try and use BCB, you can see I build up some clay or put some clay on the mesh, and we'll try and make a little nose for the character and start making a little face. Okay, so the sides of the nose need to be more refined, so we'll use a brush for refining, or BDS, Dem Standard. B for brush menu, D for Dem, and S for standard. So here it is, BDS, and we'll make carvings along the nose or on the sides of the nose, and we can see that it's more refined right now. Okay, we'll make some more lines, so it's for fine lines. Okay, now we'll go into the geometry menu. Below the tool menu, there is geometry, and there is a submenu called Dynamesh. I'm gonna hit the Dynamesh submenu and hit the Dynamesh button. This Dynamesh button spreads the geometry better and makes it more compatible with the brushes. So basically, the Dynamesh gives more topology, and we can work more smoothly on the mesh this way. So I'm going to take this little line here and smooth it, like so, to make the nose more smooth, and we'll make it again, this time Dynamesh, because it will have a better result, like so. Okay, I'm going to go to BCB again, and now I'm going to try and make the eyes. Because BCB adds clay, we need to subtract clay, and for that we need a reverse of clay buildup. The reverse of any brush is with the Alt function, so if we hold Alt, we'll do the reverse of what the brush actually does. So in this case, if it adds clay, it will subtract clay by holding Alt. So something like this. As you can see, there are eyes. Okay, we're going to go to Dem Standard again, BDS, and make a little ridge for the nose, and we'll make it more refined. We'll smooth it up with Shift and Smooth Brush, and smooth the eyes also. Okay, we'll go to Flatten Brush, BFA, and we'll flatten the nose a bit, like so, and also the rest of the nose downward. With BCB again, and I'll make nostrils with clay buildup and Alt. Okay, the shortcut for Dynamesh, as you saw, is Control and drag to the side, but you need to have Dynamesh turned on in the Dynamesh menu. Okay, here you can see I'm adding some cheekbones and some parts of the mouth or the chin. And with BDS, I'm just making some fine lines and adding some more details. Now I'm adding the eyebrow ridge, so it has a bit of a personality. With Move, you can still use Move, B and V, so you can make the eyebrows go a bit frontal. Again, as I said, control and drag to the side is for dynameshing the model. It's the hotkey for dynameshing the model. So you need to turn on first Dynamesh and have it glow orange, and then just drag on the side so you'll Dynamesh. If it's not turned on, it won't work. So you need to get the Dynamesh button turned on all the time while you're using Dynamesh. We're gonna smooth out the head. And now we're going to move on and make a neck. So for making the neck, we can use the move brush, but as you can see, the neck is a bit pinched at the bottom, and we need a cylinder-like neck. So what we're going to do is go to the bottom, or the bottom view, and make a little mask. But first of all, let me tell you how the masks work. The mask brush also has a designated hotkey, and it's control. If you hold control, it will show up the mask brush. So as you can see, and if I draw something, it will be with a black color. That black color has no interaction with it. So if you do anything to it, it will have no input. So it's basically like a zero input zone, so you can't do anything to that mask part. As you can see, I'm trying to add some clay, but I can't, it's going around it. Okay, for reversing this mask part, so we need that unmask and the whole other thing masked, it's control and click to the side. So if I control and click to the side, the mask will reverse and it will become, basically everything will be masked, and just the mask circle will be unmasked, like so. And now we can work on that little unmasked circle again by reversing the mask on control and click to the side. We can go behind the mesh, and with move we can try and extrude the little horns, like so. We can try another brush, BSK or snake hook. This is a lot like move, but it works a little more aggressive, so it extrudes a bit more and a bit harsher. So it makes the geometry a little bad, but it's no problem with Dynamesh because it will fix the problem. Okay, for getting rid of the mask, it's control and dragging on the side. It's the same with Dynamesh. That's because Dynamesh and a masked mesh can't work together, so the developers made them the same hotkey. Again, control and drag is for Dynamesh and getting rid of the mask. Now we can smooth a bit. As you can see, the Dynamesh fixed the bad horn geometry. And now it's alright. We can go to the bottom of the head and make a little circle here for the neck, just like the horns. And we can take this circle and reverse it so the whole circle is unmasked and the head is masked. So we want to extrude this circle. We can do that, as we remember, with the horns with control and click to the side to invert the mask. Okay, so basically now we need to extrude the neck downwards, but we're not gonna do it with move, but with a Gizmo. Gizmo is the move brush, the rotate brush, and the scale brush all in one. We activate it by clicking W, E, or R on the keyboard. So with whatever we click from those three buttons, it will activate the Gizmo tool. As you can see, all of the move, rotate, and scale tools are here. So we're just gonna move the neck downwards like so, and we're gonna scale it a bit with the middle axis and scale and move it up and to the left a bit. To get rid of the gizmo, we just hit Q on the keyboard and it turns it off. We're gonna get rid of the mask by control and dragging on the side, and Dynamesh once more by control and dragging to the side. We're gonna smoothen the mesh up a bit, like so. And now we're ready to add some details, like some eyes, for instance, and some horns as well. The brushes that we'll use for that are the Chisel 3D and the Chisel Creature brushes. So basically they are located in the first row of the brush menu, and if we click, let's say, Chisel 3D and select the eye and we drag, we can see there are eyes on the model. If we control and drag on the side, we'll Dynamesh them, and we can choose something else, let's say, and try out the other parts. If we don't like them, we can Control Z and try something else, let's say. I'm gonna use the I02, drag on the nose and have little eyes on the nose to make it somewhat interesting. You can also have ears, let's say up here. And we can also choose the chisel creature and add some reptile skin to the neck, let's say. We can Dynamesh, and we have a little head ready for our render.